Okay, welcome to another web designing subject, students. So in this session, we are focusing on responsive web design. Our main target is to learn Bootstrap. So first of all, we will understand what do you mean by responsive designing, okay, or responsive web design. Now, first of all, if you take a website is or website was usually it was viewed in a web browser, okay, web browser, okay. Usually web browsers were available in computers, okay. Nowadays, of course, you are browsing it in phone, we will come to that point, but usually internet was accessed through computers. In order to access the internet, especially when I say the word internet, I'm referring to the World Wide Web collection of websites. Users were using web browsers like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, Safari, etc. Browsers were the ones we were using. And if you compare computers relative to your mobile devices, computers have a larger screen. Okay, so the resolution, if you take, it has a big screen, right? All right, so computers have a big screen. With the introduction of these smartphones, where people started to access internet and web related technologies in their mobile devices, right? So when it comes to mobile devices, there are different brands, different models, same brand, different models, and different makes. So if you take a single brand like Apple brand, so it will have different models, different screen sizes will be there. For example, if you take an iPhone 5 or iPhone 5s, and if you take an iPhone 11, right, and if you take a iPad, right, then there are three different resolutions or three different screen sizes available. Okay, this is just one brand, different type of uh, phone models, and they are having different type of screen resolutions. If we take the market real world, there are so many types of mobile makes and models to models, there are different screen resolution sizes. So as a developer, you don't have, okay, you don't have a fixed resolution. You don't have a fixed resolution like 1024 by 800 resolution, or 1280 by 720 resolution. You don't have such a resolution that you have to properly understand. So when we make a website, so you can do like, so if you are really targeting people who is going to really use this one on computers only, then you can design your website in a large scale one, no problem. But there will be issues if you try to access the same website in your mobile device, and if the website is not responsive. Okay, so we will take some examples later. Then if you take the percentage of people who are browsing, these are research data, people, percentage of people browsing internet. So more than 70% or 65 plus percent, they are accessing in mobile devices. That you need to understand. That's the reality. So less than 30% or less than, closer to 30% only, they are accessing websites in computers or laptops or large screens. That reality we need to understand. So there is a necessity for us to build the websites which looks nice on any resolution, okay. And you have a common experience. Now this is your mobile phone, let's say this is your mobile phone. This is, you're holding the phone in the portrait mode, and at the same time, if you're going to hold the phone in a landscape mode, same phone, okay, the same one, let's say this the same phone, I'm holding it like this. Now the resolution again changes. You are, with this increasing, height is decreasing. Here height is more, with this less. So once you rotate your phone, resolution again changes in one device. So if the web page was loaded like that earlier, now the web page has to be again scaled inside your web page, inside your mobile device, so that it looks really nice and it looks very pleasing for the person to look at and work. So this is really important when you're working with your website designing, especially when we are talking about the responsive designing. Okay, right. Now we need to know one thing. When you are saying responsive designing, what we are basically going to do is, now we build websites. Earlier days, websites were built using tables. Now we never use tables. We use mainly div tags to build the websites, or the layout of the website we are building using div tags. So therefore, when you are using these div tags, um, wait a minute, when you're using these div tags, okay, when we say about responsive designing, you should understand, I told you earlier, websites were designed using tables, right? And they are fixed and they are very difficult to work with because they are not flexible enough. Then we are designing nowadays websites using div tags, okay? Div tags, division tags. We use div tags. It's very common that we design div tags. We were earlier also using them. When we are using div tags, you know, we learned something called dimensions, which basically we refer to the height and width. Now here, if you take the width of it, it's really important. You can give, for example, with the property, I'm talking about the CSS property width, you can give a fixed property like this. If you give something like this, now this is a fixed value that you are giving. So 960 pixels, even if you are browsing into on a mobile device, and if the fixed size is given, means in your mobile device, you will have to scroll it across. So thumb, you have to scroll it across. Then that will be a problem, right? Okay. So that is an issue for you. So in order to overcome that, what you can do is, instead of giving fixed values like this, we can think of giving values in percentage. For example, if you give 100%, now it's going to take the entire space which is available. So it is 100%. Here is just an example. So giving values in percentage value is what uh, basically used in responsive designing. So now you might think, do we have to divide things values and find out the exact percentage amounts and use them? The answer is no, because we're going to use something called Bootstrap framework. Please understand that if someone asks, without Bootstrap you cannot build responsive websites, means that's totally wrong. Even I have published an article where there is a website where it is auto generating code for you. You can use that site. Without using Bootstrap, you can create your own responsive websites. It's very simple to do that. But why we make use of Bootstrap means, we will talk about it when we do about Bootstrap. Okay, I'll tell you why Bootstrap is good and how to use that one. This is the introduction, children. Right. Okay. So when we are learning about the Bootstrap, I will tell you about further things. There are certain things that you need to understand about the grid system. I will explain you why we use a grid system and how to work with that one. Once you understand those basics, you'll be, with no time, you will be developing web pages using Bootstrap. It's pretty simple to do. Okay. Right. Pretty nice. Okay. Let me show you some resources as well, right, where you can learn about these things, right? If you go to w3schools.com, right? So if you go to w3schools.com, it's a nice, right? So you can go to the tutorials section and you can choose Learn Bootstrap. Once you choose this, right? So Bootstrap version 3 and version 4, this is the major difference between these two. Okay. So Bootstrap version 4, you can go, right? The version 4 is the one I'm going to use actually. And now the Bootstrap version 5 beta also available. Now they are asking, now this is in what do you call, um, W3 Schools website. They have categorized the tutorial, okay, tutorial into that. This is not the official website of the Bootstrap, okay. Bootstrap's official website, I'll show you in a while, okay, right. Oh, fine. So there are some things that they are showing how you can build certain stuff. This is also, you can give it a try, which is pretty simple, how to make use of it, right? So how to get started and all, they are showing. And it's very simple to learn these things, right? So I'm going to first of all show you this. They have very nice resources here. After I teach you the basics and all, once you go through this one, You can keep this one as a notes for you. You can keep this one as notes for you, and you can build them very nicely. You can build certain things very nicely. Okay. So I won't be able to cover an entire course on Bootstrap, but I can help you build the web pages, right? Okay. Right, nice. So there are some media queries and all. They are explaining the common sizes of screens and all, right? So extra small, small, medium, large, extra large screens are there. This is the screen resolution sizes they are talking about, right? So if a resolution is less than 576 pixels, we say it's an extra small screen. Okay, things like that. 1 second, please. So I just showed you children the resources where you can find, you can learn about Bootstrap further. That is why I just showed you this tutorial for you. Now let's go to the official website of Bootstrap and we will get it downloaded and get started, right? There is a version of or there are some set of files that I have already downloaded for ease because when you are working with Bootstrap, I'll show you there are certain third-party library you have to download, 1 or 2 files you have to download. That particular file I have already downloaded with me, and I'm keeping those things inside one folder. So if you use the package that I'm going to give you, just about 2 to 3 MB file, it's a package. If you use that one without downloading separately from different places, you can use it very easily. First of all, we will see the official way of doing it, right? Okay, after that I'll give you my package, right? Nice. Now when you go to the web browser, you can type get bootstrap bootstrap.com. Okay, if you type getbootstrap.com, this is the official website of Bootstrap. So if you look at the Bootstrap's history, all of you know about Twitter, right? So if you go to Twitter, so Twitter is the official website, right? You know that. Twitter Bootstrap. Have you heard about Twitter Bootstrap? Bootstrap was introduced by Twitter. Okay, this library. This is nothing but a collection of some JavaScript files and CSS files, right? So it makes it easy to browse it on mobile devices, which was introduced by Twitter. Now, the thing is, later those libraries, they made it available via open source, and it helped in the web development community to build responsive websites. Okay, so it becomes really popular. So that is how the Bootstrap started. So where it was started means it has started in Twitter. Okay, just I wanted to share that one as well. So once you go to the Bootstrap, right? So Bootstrap version now currently what we got is the Bootstrap version 5. There is a major difference between Bootstrap 5. Still, I didn't start to use Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap 4 is more than enough for us to work, right? Very recently only Bootstrap 5 have come, right? I'm going to use, so if you take the benefit of Bootstrap 5 is the icons and the third-party files they are not using, they are using Bootstrap itself. So if you want, you can give it a try as well, right? Honestly, I didn't still try this one, so you can try this one after I teach you how to work with Bootstrap, the basics. It's a simple matter of attaching their libraries. That's all. You're going to attach some different libraries, and you're going to try them. So I don't mind even if you do the final assignment using Bootstrap 5, as long as my assignment is done. So I'm happy, and I will grade it. No worries. Okay. So I invite you people to take a look at Bootstrap 5 as well after you learned this one, right? Okay, so there are if you go to the installation part and all, how to get these things installed, in your computers when you work. Right now we are just downloading files and we installed or copy paste, right? But in a real working environment, from the command prompt and all, you use certain operation things called, or certain software called package maintenance systems, or like for example npm is one, right? So github, those kind of things you can use, right? So I'm not going to use any of those things. I'm going to just ordinary way, I'm going to show you this one. So we are looking for something like let's go to the download section, right? Once you go to the download section, you can open up like this, right? So there are all versions of Bootstrap is available here. The very last version which has come is 4.6x, right? So we can go and nicely use this one, no problem. I was using up to a 4 version 4, right? Then I think from next patch onwards we can switch to H 5 version, no problem, right? So I'm going to go this one and choose. You can study this one as well, right? Okay. Once you choose this one, children, to the left side, why I'm showing this one is this is the official website of the Bootstrap, and this is the place that you can very easily learn about Bootstrap. That's the reason I'm showing you this. So once you go here, you will see it says getting started. So it'll give you a quick start if you follow these links. And once you go to the layout, content, and components, you have individual components and how to use them. I'm going to quickly show you how to get started. Then we're going to move on to the section components, and we're going to build the web page components. So because we are interested in building the website and the layout. So we're going to focus more on the layout and the components today, because we need a quick start to this website. Okay. Right. So if you take a look at it, right, so get started with Bootstrap, the world's most popular framework for building responsive mobile first sites with JS Deliver and template starter page. All these are add-ons. We will see what those things are. Okay. Right. So children, first of all, you need to understand here it says copy paste the style link to your head before all other style sheet to load our CSS. This is if you're going to do it from online, you can do this one. So now you people, all of you are connected to the internet, so no worries, you can do this one. This will work. So there was a time when our computers were not always connected to the internet and we want to download and use. So this method is not going to work, right? So if you copy this and paste online, it's going to take, and it's going to each time it's going to take and do it. So I'm going to use the method downloading and doing it, right? So this is the bundle they are showing. So they are separately, you can take the whole thing here. There are three things that we take. Okay, there are three files actually. One is the jQuery jQuery JavaScript libraries there that you have to use. There is another file called Popper.js, and there is a file called Bootstrap 4.6.0. That's a these are three JavaScript files you have to use, right? And there is a CSS file also you have to use. So there are two, three files are there. So don't worry about this, right? Okay, right. So what we got to do is we need to download this one, right? So we can go to the download section. In the download section, you can see compiled CSS and JavaScript. This one will give you only compressed small versions, right? So we want to open the bootstrap.css file and we want to see inside what it is having, and we want to modify them. So we're going to go for the source files, right? We're going to go for the source files, and even you can download the examples also. So if you download the examples, what is the benefit is example pages, you can take them, rename them, and you can customize them and start building. For example, there will be a login page will be there. Now if you go here, there are sample pages. All these are pre-built and no copyright. You can just use them, right? This is a price checkout, see something, right? All the things are there. Let's see there where this is login form. Here you have it. Just take this login form and you can fill in, you can put your icon, you can put your headings, and you can fill in your other information here. It's pretty simple to do it. Okay, right? So that's about the examples. So if you're interested in, you can download this whole thing as well, right? I'm interested in downloading only these things. Okay, source files. I'm going to show you how it looks, right? Let's try that one and see whether we can make it work, right? So let's download it and see. So once I download that, so I'm going to download that inside my uh, this one, right? HND folder 51. I will create this one as BS demo, bootstrap demo, bootstrap demo. So I'm just downloading that package, right? It is downloaded, just 3.3 megabytes file, right? Let's see what we have there. You can see BS demos. This is the file that I just downloaded now. Okay, let me unzip that. When I unzip it, so I get another folder, bootstrap. So there are all the things are coming, all the things are coming. We don't need everything here. We don't need the whole thing. There are two folders. One is there's a folder called dist. If you go there, there are two folders. One is CSS, one is JS, JavaScript. Okay, so this is not enough. We need to download extra two files. Please don't ask me why, because that's the way you have to do it. Two JavaScript files we need to download and add to this, right? Okay. So after you now, because if you put jQuery and all, only animations and all will work, start to work, right? Okay. Without further delay, we will download those two files as well here. Then I will give you this bundle to you. So I can go here and I can go to the instruction section, introduction section. So let me check this. JavaScript. Here, many of our components require the use of JavaScript function. Specifically, they require jQuery and Popper and our own JavaScript plugins. We use jQuery's slim build, but the full version is also supported. So we can use that. So you can just click on this and download and put that. So I'm going to take it from this link. So I'm going to copy this link. See this, I'm going to copy that link. See, I will paste it here. Then that is a JavaScript file. I'm going to right click, say save as. You don't have to do this. I will give you the file now. Right. So I'm going inside Bootstrap distribution JS file. I will just save this one, jQuery file. Saved it. Let's take the other one, which is the Bootstrap file. Bootstrap one also will take. Bootstrap is there, right? So we need to take the Popper.js. Here you have it. So we'll take it from here, Popper.js. If you have a doubt, talk to me. Just save this one. I'm saving it inside the same folder, right? Okay. Those are the files that I need to do, right? Okay, done. Cool. Right. So now we need to get started this one. That part I'll show you. First step is downloading and get it installed in our computer. So that part we did. Step 2, what we shall do is we will link to our web page and we will make it work. After that, we will start again understanding the layout and the components. So you can start practicing it, right? All right. So once you are practicing, I'll give you this, what I have downloaded. I will give you this folder. Okay. Only this folder I'll give you. These two files I'll give you, copy to your project and you can do it. Right. All right. So I'm going to do children. Now I have copied that one. Right. I'm going to copy these two. I need one more, I think. I need one more file, which is Font Awesome also I'm using. So later I'll show you that. Right. So we will see the common way how to learn. I'm copying these two files, copying those two files. I'm going to the project where I am here and I'll just paste it here. So my folder is BS demos, Bootstrap demo. I have two folders, which are CSS and JS. I don't want this. I'll delete that, right? So this also, I don't want it now. If I don't want, I can delete it. But just for a while, I'll keep it there, right? Now I'm going to my Atom software. BS demos folder is here. I'm going to build a file, demo1.html. Let's create a blank HTML document, right? First of all, let me put a heading here. Okay. I'll say this page is bootstrap enabled. Bootstrap enabled. Right. Inside the head tag, you need to attach few things. Okay. There are three JavaScript files you need to attach. That is one thing, right? bootstrap.css file also you need to attach. Those are the things that you need to do, right? So what we're going to do is, first of all, in order to attach an external JavaScript file, you can see it is inside here, JS folder. There are things here, bootstrap.js, right? Bootstrap.min.js. I'll just open and show you what are the differences between this. If you click on this bootstrap.js file, children, this is the developer version. You can just go inside this one and you can learn this one if you want. That the bootstrap, the functions have been built. These were developed by the developers. If you want to understand that, you can go inside and do it. Sometimes if you are expert on JavaScript, you can do some customization. There is another one called bootstrap.min minimum version. This is a compiled or compressed version of the same file. Difference between this one and the previous one is this one is small in size. Now the previous one, if it is around 200 kilobytes, this will be what, one less than 100 KB. So in order to make it smaller and faster, only it is used. This is not recommended for learning or any for editing. So this is uh, it's very difficult for you to using software. They have put it like this, and I'm not going to touch this one, right? I'm going to make use of my original one, bootstrap.js. But when you're uploading to your website, you using the minimized version gives you uh, speed, right? So it can improvise your downloading speed. First, we're going to write script. Okay, script. If you type like this, so this JavaScript, right, is what we want. I'm going to close it and take it back. Type text slash JavaScript. You have to give source, right? Source. We're going to attach this file inside JS folder. First, we're going to attach the bootstrap jQuery file. So it's a lengthy one. So in order to, without messing up, I'm going to select that file, press F2, not F2. I'm going to press F2, yes, renaming. I can copy the whole thing properly. Then I can come here. I will type JS forward slash, and I will type the path like that, right? So that is about the jQuery first. Then, popper j popper min.js, we have the file. Next one. So we're going to have that also. So I'm going to create another script file. So I'm going to say src js slash. So it says popper.min.js, popper dot min.js, right? So that file also we attach. Finally, we attach the bootstrap. So here I'm going to attach bootstrap.js. So js forward slash bootstrap.js, right? So that's done. So these are the three JavaScript libraries that we attach. Now we can attach the CSS file, which is inside here. Inside the CSS folder, you can see bootstrap.css file is here. I will tell you this. This is nothing but a collection of classes. Bootstrap is nothing but a collection of classes. And for the tags that we are using in HTML, they have already given formattings. So it is a third-party written CSS library that we are using. So we can get it customized. And this is very carefully done by experts, okay, for the body and everything, beautifully given things, HR tags, H1, H2, H2, H6, how they should appear and all, everything has been given here. So if you want any modification, please do not change this. There is a way to modify or there is a way to customize. I'll teach you how to do that one. Please do not modify this file because you can use the same library for other projects. If you customize this one, each time you will have to download it, right? Okay. Let's go to that. That also having a minimized version. See, that same file has been minimized. This is for uploading, publishing in the real world wide web. We're not going to do this one. We're going to use this. Okay, right. Let's attach that one. You know how to attach it. There's a command is link command. So it's a style sheet. So where do we have it? We have it inside the CSS folder. Name of the file is bootstrap.css. So now we are good to go, right? So let's open the web page and see any changes in the fonts and everything. So if there is a change that we can see, then it is a confirmation that Bootstrap is working for us. So if I open this file, and you can see the fonts and all are just uh, appearing in such a way, right? So this is not normally appearing. For example, if I cut this whole thing out, it's not there. Now if I refloat, this is how the web page usually looks without any CSS or any other formattings. Now once I make it enable with Bootstrap, it gets the structure, right? Let's say you want to change the color of this text. You don't have to write any Java, I mean any CSS code. You can use class, simply say class, because children, inside Bootstrap there are so many classes built, right? So there is one class called text class. So 196 things found, right? So yeah, text, monospace, justified, a lot of things are there, right? You can use all this alignment, text alignment, everything is there. I just wanted to show you, right? uh, so here there's a class called text dash danger. So there is a color already given. This hash, the exclamation mark important says if any other setting has been given to this text, override it. So no matter what, this will work. That is why important is used. I just wanted to show you. That's why I opened it and showed you. Now if I want to use that one, simply I use text dash danger. Let's refresh this. This will be in red. Very simple, right? Okay, let's put a button in your web page. I'm just showing you this one button. Let's say this is a button. So if you reload, I'll increase the size. So it looks something like this. Okay, you can make it very beautiful, or you can make it a Bootstrap enable button. Inside this one, simply use class equals button has a class called btn. We're going to learn this under components. You say btn. So when you say btn, when you reload, appearance comes. First of all, the appearance is coming. Then you say btn. There are different things you can use. For example, if you say primary, it's a blue color. These are built-in names. See, it's pretty simple to build, right? Okay, now this is not teaching you, this is just demonstrating. Let's say another button you can put danger, that will be in red. You can put another button in info, light blue. You can put another button in orange color, let's say warning. You can put another button in dark. You can put another button in, you can put it in light. You have primary. In version 4 you have secondary. So if you reload, so all those things are coming with their things. Once the mouse pointer comes, the color is also changing. Round rectangles already coming. If you can fix those things. Hope you understood this one. So this part is a small exercise we did. I introduced you what Bootstrap is. I didn't teach you what Bootstrap is yet. We'll downloaded the packages actually, or the files which is needed to practice Bootstrap. Then we got it installed in our page, and we linked those libraries with these commands. Then just we gave a test out of it and we learned it. That's what we did. Okay, I'm going to share this document with you now through the Edmodo website, and you can do the same thing, right? Okay, so after that I will give you some time to practice. Fine. On your own you can copy paste these things, or you can just copy paste the one I am giving you. This will work fine. Anyway, I'm going to give you this demo.html file also to you, right? I'll post the recording now. Okay, children, right now, since we have downloaded the necessary files, got it installed in our computer, and we already built a test page, and it is connected with our Bootstrap libraries. It's working perfect. Now we can test it out, the components and how to work with these things, right? All right. So here, if you take a look at it, right? If you take a look at it, there are a lot of things that you can do. You can set themes, right? So I am pretty um, sure that you will check out these things later after I finish teaching you. Please check out this one, right? So if you go to the next part is layout section, so we can understand this one a little bit, right? I'm not going to uh, teach you a lot of things here, right? Just I'm going to quickly show you how to work with them. Um, so these, don't worry about this SMMD, LG, Excel, and all these kind of things. We will talk about them a little bit. This, of course, I'm going to do it anyways, right? Um, do you see this one, right? Okay, this is an example. It says Bootstrap grid examples. We will start our lesson from here first of all. Grid example, right? Now, when what we want to do is we want to make our website responsive. Okay, responsive means the website look as good as possible in any resolution. So sometimes you have to change the look of your web page according to the resolution. So we will see how it can work. Right? It says uh, there are some examples given here, right? So I can go to this one and I can change this to, for example, let's say I put it to a iPhone X. Okay, so iPhone X is a bit taller, and you can see I can scroll the web page like this. I'll have this one copied again, right? So I'll put it the normal one here. Okay, so this is the full resolution one. I'm browsing in a computer, right? I'm browsing it in a computer, right? So there are columns we are using here, right? So that there are grids and things. Don't worry about these values. I'll teach you. Take a look at this one. So when the screen is smaller, it is coming like this. It is getting smaller automatically like this. So it's nicely setting. So I am not able to go horizontally anyway. Only vertically I can scroll up and down. That's all I can do. And it's a fully responsive one. And you can see this one, it says even in the small size, it is maintaining 3 columns. I will come to this point. Don't worry about that. Right? Okay. Fine. Okay, right. So what we shall do is, first of all, we will try to understand what you mean by this grid system. Okay. Um, in order to make the website right responsive, what we do is, if this was your website, or if this is your browser's canvas, okay, this will be divided into equal 12 equal columns. First of all, that you need to understand. 12 equal columns. So if you divide 100 by 12, answer is 8.333. Okay, 8.3333, like so. That they are using as a percentage, right? So if you're not sure, I can show you that. So 8.333, that's the percentage that they are using. So each one here will have a column. This is how the grid system works in Bootstrap. So likewise, I am not going to draw everything. Equal sized columns will be there. How many columns we can have? Totally, we can have 12 columns. That is the grid system. Okay, grid system when we want to have something. Okay, so it can be divided like that. Okay, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, my ones are not equal ones. So in this one, if you want to design something, let's say you want a logo to appear in this big, right? Then you want to have a gap here. Then you want your navigation bar from here to here. that you can have it, right? Then you want 3 columns to go, right? So let's say you want 3 by 3 columns. I'm just showing you, right? You can have it like that. And let's say here you want to have a picture. Here you want to have a picture this big. Then you want have a small gap here. Again, you want this much big area where you're going to put a heading and some paragraphs and a button here. You can design like this. So under that, under that our category, under that our category, the category means this 12 grid system. I am putting my layout. So where the logo should come and how big it should be, and where the navigation bar should come, how big it should be. I can add like this, right? It's very simple to do that. Okay, so let's see how we can do that part, right? Let's see. Now, this kind of a thing, in order to understand, we need to practice and see. All right. Okay. So what we do is now the page I gave you, demo one page, you can duplicate and practice without a problem. Okay. Without a problem, you can practice that. So I'm going to close my demo one. I'm going to select my demo file here, then press letter D, and I will save this one as demo two. Don't delete my demo one file. Okay, you need these files, that's why I'm asking you not to delete. Otherwise, each time you have to type this one, it'll waste your time. So in demo 2, right, you don't have to have all these kind of things. Let's understand that. Just delete this, just delete that, right? Now you can type. Okay, now you can type something like this. First of all, we will understand div like this. Div, when you press the tab key, you get a class. So there are things that we can give when you're designing this one in a proper order. We have to nicely design this one. Actually, we will be designing a layout inside a container, a nice container we can put. We can have a container, children, right? So it's there are containers, different type of containers are there, fixed sized ones and fluid sized ones are there, right? So inside the container, we can have these things placed however we want. We can place them, right? So we need a container first. Inside the container we can do, without the container also we can practice, but first of all we will see how the container works, right? So I'm going to type there just container. So when you are learning Bootstrap, I'm going to simply introduce you some class names like this, and we're going to practice and finish them. Don't do this one now. I will give you time to practice now. And when you are practicing, you have to type and practice with me. Right. Okay. So div class container I have given here. Inside this, let's type something like h1 hello there. So when I reload this, if I reload that file, you can see there is a gap has come here. That means if you don't have this one, if you don't have that div and all, it will be just here in the page. So it's not proper designing. Okay, we give like this, right? So I can give a class called bg dark. Okay, I can use a bg info, for example. So a background color also I can apply to that. So you can see where that is, where that part is. That means this container where it is. That's what my idea is. So class container I have given, right? So there is a difference between class container and container fluid. There is another difference called fluid means that is going to take the entire space of your screen. However, your screen big, how much big it is, it's going to take the entire space, right? So it's going to take the entire space, right? So that is true. It's in your right side, see? So it will be adjusting, see? It's fully responsive. It's becoming responsive, right? You can nicely design this. Okay, so that is about the container part. So for my designing work, in some places I can make use of this fluid part, but most of the places I'm going to use container. That means it's going to have a fixed size like that. Because I'm using a big size screen, right? I'm using a big size screen. You can see the container size they are using. Container fluid here, the example they are showing here. Container extra large, container that is medium, container small, and container. So if you go there and you will see the gaps and everything they are explaining here. See the sizes they are explaining. If you take, see them in action, and so if you can click here, you can check that. That is what I'm showing here. This one. So here, if you just use the class container, size is 100%. Less than this one is 100%, right? So in smaller screen, it is going to take the this size or this size. It's going to take this big. In less than or greater than or equal to this one, it's going to take this big, right? Greater than or equal to 1200, it is going to take 1140. These are values which can be divided evenly and all. Experts have come up with these values. Do not try to change them. So my screen is actually 1920 pixels wide. 1920 pixels wide. So that is why in my screen it is taking 1140 pixels, this one. So this is the original size, 100%. So if I put a background color also, so this is 1140 pixels in wide. If you are not sure, you can copy paste this to Photoshop and measure and see if you really want to do that. So 1920 is my total resolution. So you can see either sides, it's leaving some space. So if it is a small screen, then it will just try to adjust it. Let's see. So in a small screen, it is becoming smaller than that. See, medium size, it's smaller than that. And you have to understand these things, what, how it will look in a tab, how it will look in a this one phone. You can do that. So we can show hide certain things based on certain resolutions also. That is called media queries. We will do it at the latter part of that bootstrap. So once you go to a very small size, it stays like that, right? Okay. So that is about the container. That is the first thing that we learned. So BG stands for background and success, primary, default, secondary, dark, light, all these words you can use. They are pre-built colors you can use. And if you wish to use a separate color here without using this one, you can use your CSS knowledge to do that. So you can simply use a style tag here itself, and you can say background. I'm using my tool, right? Let's say I want to put this kind of a red there. I will use it. So simple as that. So customizing is that easy. Okay, very simple to do. If you like, you can put your CSS code as well with the Bootstrap itself. All the other features are there, responsiveness and everything is there. So we just learned how to work with the container. Inside the container only, we're going to add all the other div tags. We are not going to directly put these things, right? So I'm going to erase that part. You can practice it later, right? So it's a very good practice to have comments otherwise, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of closing div tags. You don't know which part is getting closed. Of course you can hold the first one, it will show which one is the ending tag like this in Atom software, but why we should do that, right? Okay, now let's try to understand the grid system, right? You should understand, when we put a grid here, div, across this we can add some divs, right? So let's try adding some divs. So I'm going to say column dash LG dash. LG means large screen. If you don't know what's the size, refer to this one. Large means LG means right. LG means, yeah, 960 pixels. Any screen which is more than or equal to 992 pixels, it will set to this size, 960 pixels. It's always less than this. Okay. All right. Extra large means you have to type XL, right? Okay. I'm going to type large screen here. Call large LG. I'm going to type something like 4. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 columns it's going to take. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns it's going to take. Likewise, if I'm adding several divs, like we'll put a one paragraph here to save time. Right now, let's reload this page. I can see one paragraph is there. So let's say you want to justify the text. You simply say class text justify. You don't write the CSS code. Bootstrap is already built in with that. It will adjust it for you. Line spacing, fonts, everything will beautifully come. Okay, so we have done that. Right, so inside this we will put, we can make it a little bit prettier. Okay. Right. So just put a button there. Within no time you can build this, right? See, very simple. Okay, so I just built one column there. That's all. Borders and all will also work. We will learn them slowly. What I'm teaching you now is the size column 4. So I will copy this one once more and we'll paste what happens. Now I paste it once more. So you can see it is coming down here. It's not coming here. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to make sure this appears in a row. When you say a row, it will try to keep these things inside one another. So carefully watch this, what I'm doing. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to use very simple div class. I'm just going to say row, right? I'll cut this one, put it here, and I'll put the comment there, end of row, right? So when I refresh this, you see there's no difference, big difference there. But if I can leave space nicely, see there are div tags finishing. See 1, 2, 3 div tags finishing. If it hadn't been for the comments, it'll be problem. So I can see you can have a comment like that. So it always helps you when you're building a lengthy program. So I'm going to copy paste that. So let's say sample text 1, sample text 2. Now see 8 plus 8, sorry, 4 plus 4, 8 columns gone. I can have just one more here. 3 columns I can have. So 3 columns I can have. So they will look okay in a large screen, maybe a medium size screen, right? So when it is going beyond this point, it is collapsing automatically because for small and extra small screens, we didn't give values, right? So let's say if I give here for all these things, col dash md dash 4, that medium size also it should maintain to 4 columns. Let's try that. Usually we give this one. So let's reload this. I have large screen anyway. So reload it. Let's try resizing it. So it's staying. Again, can you see earlier it went collapsing at this stage. Now it is trying to, when you come to this size only, now it is going collapsing, right? So if we give small also, call SM, SM4, that's also possible. Small screen also, it will try to maintain 4 columns. See, still it is maintaining 3 columns. When it is in extra small screen only, it is maintaining collapsing. So in extra small also, if you want to maintain it, so you can say call dash xm dash 4. Extra small also, xm. This is very interesting. Just you need to remember some class names. Seems not working. XM or SM. Sorry. Okay. SM. extra small, extra small.
Try XS.
XS, is it there?
It's not there, but I think it will work. I think sometime.
I think no, Puta, we have to give like this. The extra small is referred by column itself. Just give column 4, right? If you give this one in any size, always it maintains 4 columns. Whether it is large, small, medium, extra large, doesn't matter. See, even how small it will try to maintain 3 columns. Sometimes this won't be suitable. Okay, when it is coming on a small screen, it should collapse, then only it'll be nice. So I'm not going to use these things. Only up to medium size I'm going to use it. Just for demonstration purpose, I added that, right? Okay, now see, all the 12 columns have been taken. Now all the 12 columns have been taken. Now if you try to add another column here, this makes us 16, right? So if you try to put another one, that always comes in the next row, right? This is not a good designing anyways. Automatically don't feed a lot of things. For a gallery like thing, it's okay. But when you are designing, what you can do is, if you know for one row, 3 columns only I need, once you have finished that, you can start another row. See, you start another row, div, just say row. Don't copy paste at the beginning, okay? So just code it and see, then you will register these commands in your head. End of row div, okay? So there you can create div class, call lg4, call md4. Then you can start coding. Another column I have added. This size is that size. That is taking 6, half of the page it's taking. So if you want more of it, see, you can take it up to that point. So here you can put a picture nicely, you can do the work. And there are a lot of things you can learn slowly. I'm just showing the grid only, and across the file, across it, if you not across, in vertical, if you want to increase margins and all, built-in classes are there, you can use your own things. Like here you can type style, you can say margin top, let's say 40 px. If you give, then that margin comes. If you want to be inside the responsiveness and do, you can say m, uh, top to bottom is y axis, my, you can give 1 up to 5. You have a small value is given. If you give 2, a small update, 3, another small update, 4, another gap, up to 5 you have. After 5 you don't have. See, it is not working. So up to 5 there is a gap break, maybe 50 pixels. It is maintaining nicely like that, so you can use that. um, Even you can use mx dash 3. So in this direction it will have, this direction it will have a small gap. See, it is pushing to this side. Up to 5, you can go there also. Okay, hope you understand, right? So this is top only. If you want to give MT, you can 5, 3. I think it works. Top, right, bottom. MR. I'll check and let you know that part. It's possible. So that is working fine. Okay. So just I wanted to mention this piece of code, right? Hope you understand this one. I want you people to practice this, right? I'm just leaving this code on the screen like this. Create a div tag, create a row tag, and create these divs. Then after that, copy paste, finish this one, and practice and finish it off. When you are practicing, after finish practicing, you can make this one fluid, and you can see what's the difference. So once you make it fluid, it's going to take the entire screen, right? Always it's like that. So that is the perfect way to practice the responsive designing. Okay, right. If you practice this part now, we can take a look at the components. Okay, I'll give you around 5 minutes time. Practice this. After my last row, I'm creating another new row here. Okay, make sure that I add the end part, end of row here. So I will say row. Inside that, I can create div. Let's say call LG. Let's give around 8, no problem. H1. Um, right, let's give like that. Let's reload this page and see. Now down here it will come. Okay, there's a page coming here. This gap, I asked you how to give that gap, right? So this is taking up to this point, to this point. Now, let's give this paragraph class text justify. Okay, so it's nicely getting justified like that. Let's put another component next to this. That means I'm creating another div. We are learning about the grid system, so I'm just trying to understand, try to make understand, right? So this one I'm going to have. I don't have a picture at the moment, but I'll put. Uh, we'll put paragraph class text primary. Right. So we get it down there. I'll give call LG, call LG 4. So it's nicely coming and fitting up here. There's a built-in gap is there nicely. If you want, you can have one column gap, right? So for this, I can say offset dash LG dash 1. In large screen, offset should be 1. So totally, it is taking 5 columns. So reduce 1 column from this. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So you can have a big gap like this. This doesn't have a heading. That is why it's pushing up there. Right. So if you want, I can put a heading also. I'll say so offsets. So offsets means this, without components, we can get it pushed. We can get it pushed. So it is taking 1 columns, that 8.333 percentage. It is taking that gap. So 1 column has been taken. So we have another 3 columns only for the component, right? So that is there. I will end of the class. I'll give you this file for you to practice. Okay. But we have another 4-5 minutes left. So I'll show you something more. So this is a small technique I used. Again, when you want to maintain a gap, one is maintaining the margins. The other one is using offsets, but make sure when you give an offset, it takes entire one column, right? Okay, if you really want to use that, you can make use of it. So I hope this part is understood. Let's create one more row. I want to keep everything in one page so easy for you to practice, right? So let's create another row. Div. I'm going to say col 12. Full column I'm going to take. I'm going to say h1 components. So we'll see some components here, right? So in order to understand the components, what you can simply do is you can come here in this website. Please refer under your version 4.6 is the version I'm using. There is an option called components. I'm going in a very crash course like, right? So what is only necessary, I'm explaining you. Full thing you can learn. Please, after my class, go through this one. Components, just choose this one. It'll unfold like that. There are so many components available. So I'll try to show you much of them. You can just copy paste the code from the same website. I'll just give you the link here in this one. If you click on that link, you will open the same web page there. I just okay, I'll give it to everybody, that link. It's there in the chat window. It's available now. You can use it. Now components, I don't want you to go in the same order. It has been ordered into the alphabet order. So alert boxes, badges, breadcrumb, like that. So first of all, we'll take a look at something like buttons, easy to practice ones, right? So let's take a look at the buttons. These are the buttons that are available. So when you're practicing, you can type this either, or you can just copy from here. It's copy it to clipboard, copy and paste it in your project, and you can practice. Now, if you just copy that, come here, inside here, if I paste it, the entire code comes nicely. You just reload it and see, then there you go. You have all the things with you. Okay, and you can do the customization. That is one way of doing. Or if you like to type and see, that's also you can see. The reason is, children, when you're doing your real page, also you're going to just copy the components and take it and customize it. That's the way we're going to do the things, right? That's the way we're going to do the things, right? So they are giving things like this, different types of buttons, outline buttons they are giving. I can create them, right? So no problem. So if you button, it, the only thing is it takes time, right? So here you had to put an attribute called class. First of all, you had to say btn. So it gets all the attributes from button class. It will get all the features from button. Then if you say btn dash primary, it becomes dark blue button, right? So see, this button is my one, my custom button, the last one. I don't have much components there. That is why I can't scroll it down. I can create one more row just. So you can see now it's very clearly my custom button. You can use btn primary. You can use btn don't use directly like this. So if you want outline button, btn uh, say outline, then say what is it, primary. That is means primary is blue, secondary is this one, success is green, danger is red, warning is orange, info is light blue, light is white, dark is dark gray color. Those are predefined words. So once the mouse pointer comes, it gives you that effect. So it's pretty easy to do these things. Within one class, we can conclude this, children. We have to do another class maybe to do some more, right? So just I want you to get you started with this one so you can practicing with these things. So in the next class, maybe we can do the rest of the things. Okay. Hope you understood and I hope you got the basics how to work with Bootstrap now. Now I invite you people to explore these things. It's just a matter of copying and pasting and seeing and understanding this, and necessary information is given. And you can parallelly practice in WG schools as well, right? Okay, we will stop the recording from there.